welcome back to my channel. If you are already subscribed, just ignore my cat because she wants to be the center of attention right now. But today we're going to be talking about just comforting messages from the universe about the circumstances that you're going through right now in your life. And really, I just aim to provide some comfort and some general awareness to making sense of these circumstances and what exactly it is that is coming up for you right now and how to navigate that the best for yourself. So we have 3 piles to choose from. I have pile 1 here. We have pile 2, this cow here, and finally we have pile 3. So take your time in selecting a pile. Just ignore my cat. She's being so cute, but she really is not leaving me alone right now. It's really funny because pet messages were such a central theme of today's reading. So I'm sorry about the shaky camera. I'm sorry about the chaoticness. It is Mercury retrograde, so please do bear with me. But I'm so excited to have you here, and the timestamps will be linked in the description down below, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. If this is the one you chose, then you are in the right place. So first, let's start with the astro cards I pulled for you. We have Virgo in reverse here, Libra in reverse, and Leo coming out upright. So it's interesting that you got all astrological signs actually, and not like planets. And I do wonder if some of you have these placements in your big 3 or your prominent personal planets. But a lot of the energy I was picking up on with these cards in particular was the feeling of being ungrounded, unbalanced, in regards to just how you've been feeling energetically recently, especially with this eclipse that's shaking everything up. We are in eclipse season, and right in between 2 of them. We just had a solar eclipse, and we will soon have a lunar eclipse. So there's just a lot of energy with you of feeling ungrounded and unbalanced, and kind of I'm picking up on this ability or inability to cope right now. Maybe you're someone who typically copes fairly well with life's changes. I heard from therapy, so like developing coping skills in therapy, you're typically somebody who has been able to utilize those skills to your advantage and apply them like as needed. But right now it seems that you're having a difficult time doing this. I also get the sense from this Leo card here that you're very prideful and you're feeling a lot of shame about your inability to cope. I feel like a lot of you are in maybe caregiving positions yourselves, and you feel that because of this, you should be somebody who has it all figured out, and you hold yourself to very high standards. So I think that there's a lot of shame around, sorry, my cat's being such a menace. There's a lot of shame around like the inability to cope with life's changes right now. And I think there's just a lot of needing to feel grounded. And to do that, I would suggest to you to ground yourself in nature when you're able to get a grounding crystal. That would be really helpful. And I'll talk about that a little later when we get to that part of the reading. But just walking in nature, especially barefoot if you can, just reconnecting yourself back with nature, I think would be a huge benefit for you. And I know that you have a busy schedule, but making time where you can, even if it's only a few times a week, would be extremely beneficial for you right now through this period. I also think something that would help you is getting comfort in your pets, or if you don't have a pet, and getting a pet. That's something that came out very strongly with these Marvel cards here. So we have Wolverine in reverse, and it says, when I'm alone, I'm in great company. So I do think that you've been struggling to be alone right now. And you're finding no comfort in solitude. And I do think that you are someone who typically does enjoy their alone time. It doesn't matter if you're an extrovert or an introvert primarily. I do think that you're someone who takes a lot of pleasure in spending time alone. Maybe you have some hobbies that you really enjoy, or you just like your own company. And I feel right now you're unable to connect with yourself in that way, and actually being alone for you right now is really hard, and you feel the need to constantly kind of be surrounded by other people because of this deep-seated anxieties you're going through. I don't really exactly know what to call the feeling, but like if you were to meditate, say, for example, right now, if that's something you normally do, or you're just trying to like cleanse your palate, you wouldn't feel like you're able to, because your mind is just going. And the minute you're sitting alone with your thoughts, with no stimulation, you're finding it really hard to deal with that. We also have Wear the Crown with Honor coming out here with Black Panther. And to that, I feel is a direct response from your spirit guides and this manifestation of shame coming through. You are a human being. You need to give yourself grace throughout this period. And ultimately, we all struggle. We all go through stuff. And as long as this is a fleeting moment in your life, as long as this isn't something that is going to contribute to the continued outlook of your life, I guess, for a better word, like not making it a habit beyond a fleeting moment, then I think you're going to be totally fine. And letting go of some of that shame is actually, I saw this on TikTok, and I hate to reference TikTok because I'm actually in counseling school, so I see a lot of stuff that I disagree with on TikTok, but I do agree with this. Feeling shame when you're already struggling through something for like a coping mechanism you have, and I believe the girl in the video used the examples of like overeating, like indulging, like spending money, and smoking weed or something like that. When you feel shame for stuff like that, it's the hardest thing to do to your nervous system because you're already going through something, and then the way that you have taught yourself to cope with it, or the way the world taught you to cope with it, you're then shaming in response. So ultimately, you're just getting more and more worked up about it. So I really suggest you give yourself grace here, pile one, in releasing a lot of that shame regards to how you're coping right now. I heard drinking, maybe like some substances, stuff like that, maybe gaming, just overindulgence in general. And that's not to say that I think that those behaviors are okay. As far as healthy coping skills go in the future, but you know yourself better than I do. And as long as you're being safe and you're taking care of yourself, that's what I'm primarily concerned about, and what I want you to be as well. Don't shame yourself into healing, because it will only make things more resentful towards yourself. Come at it from a place from love. And this is the card that came out that really spoke to me about the pets. Maybe you guys have some pets that look like this, or you like dogs that look like this. It says a good guard dog is hard to find. Or for some of you too, I actually heard like a man's best friend. And confiding in a best friend throughout this period would be really good. And I think maybe codependency is another way that you shame yourself for coping with life's changes. I'm sorry that the camera keeps shaking. Another way that you cope for kind of experiencing life's changes, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And because you are someone who everybody turns to in their life, you might feel you don't have an outlet to express your own needs to, and through a pet, this could be really helpful. And now I'm honestly seeing that in the Leo card here as well. So maybe a cat as well, a cat for some of you, a dog for others. But just having a companion animal, I think, would be really beneficial for you, or confiding in one if you already do have one. So with that being said, let's move on. I have some other stuff I want to do. Let's see. Let's pull some trigger cards. Let's see where the triggers are coming from right now. Like what is being brought up. Okay. We have inconsistent. Think about if your thoughts, actions, routines are inconsistent. Does it serve you well on a daily basis? And this is an area where I don't want you to take action in yet. Wait until the retrograde period is over. Wait until the eclipse season is over, until you feel intuitively it's time for you to take action. This is more so I want you to go in and examine what those things look like. Okay. That's all we're getting as far as triggers coming up. Let's get a message from Spirit. What is a message that pile one needs to hear? Your divine feminine and divine masculine characteristics are unbalanced. This is why you've been struggling recently. So maybe getting more in tune with where you feel you're not connecting with yourself enough. I would go as far as to say retrograde energy is more feminine, in the sense of it's a period. People give retrogrades a lot of flack in the spiritual community. I'm actually having a really good retrograde, so maybe I'm not the person to speak on this because I have stuff coming up, but I'm really taking the time to look within and like re-examine things. It's a good time to anything with that starts with RE is a good time to do during this retrograde period. Review, renew, rejuvenate, rebalance, just stuff like that. But I feel you need to tune more into your receiving energy right now, because again, it was starting with RE, like tuning it more into your receiving feminine energy, regardless of gender. It has nothing to do with gender, but we're tuning into that receptive energy instead of doing. Let's see if there's one more here. We have start saving money. You will need this stash for something important that's coming. So maybe just, I don't want you to stress out about this either, but maybe just putting aside some extra money as you have it coming up for you, just as it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but just putting some stuff aside. That's really exciting too. I wonder if it's like a trip or a vacation. And on the back of the deck, we have you're not giving yourself enough self-love. Careful, you will soon experience emotional burnout. Yeah, if you continue to work against the energies of the retrograde and continue to push yourself, you're just going to run your well dry, and it's going to end up ultimately unhelpful for you and just your overall emotional well-being. Like nothing bad is going to happen as far as like your long-term life goes, but you're going to feel worse, and I want you to be able to relax as much as your busy schedule allows you to. Make it a priority right now. So let's get some overall advice from Spirit about this, and then we will close out with what crystal I think you need and a nice little inspirational poem. So Spirit, what does pile 1 need as far as giving themselves love right now look like? Okay, you have Ton of Swords. Healing, emotional healing. I feel you went through something, maybe even very recently, or you're just kind of still in that energy that was very hurtful for you. You closed out a very, very dramatic karmic cycle, whether it was a person, situation, with yourself, and you're still healing from that. I have the Queen of Swords here, so like it came out like this, so I'm going to take it as it did. I usually never do that, but I feel there's a dichotomy here with you, as there often is, of balancing between boundary setting with both yourself and I think mostly other people, to be honest with you, and boundary setting and being stone cold, and then also being like coming from a place of protecting yourself. You need to find a good balance between what a fair, quote unquote, and healthy relationship with boundaries looks like. Okay, so from that point, let's see what else we have here. We have the Empress. Yes. So getting in tune with that feminine energy is really key here, and just experiencing all the emotions that are coming up for you right now, because we can see that it's raining in this picture. And she's very vulnerable. She's feeding her baby, and I take this as you getting really in touch with your inner child and what they need to feel fulfilled. What is it that your inner child needs to feel fulfilled to truly express yourself emotionally? Cry the tears. Have a dramatic moment where you sit in the shower and just fucking sob. That's okay. I want you to know that that's okay. I feel like you need to know it is okay. And it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any less capable of doing the work that you do. It makes you human, and it makes you that much more in tune with yourself and your needs. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Moon card. So again, overstating, like getting in touch with your emotional expression, feeling comfortable enough to do so. So let's get let's do a crystal first. Something I haven't done before, but we're gonna use my little crystal book and see what Spirit is recommending to you. Okay, we have green epiphyllite. Yeah, we have green epiphyllite here. So physical and emotional uses can be used to heal childhood issues, releasing old emotional patterns, and encouraging lightness and spontaneity in life, refreshes the mind and clears the heart chakra of emotional debris. Ooh, very nice. So getting into some green epiphyllite would be good for you, and getting in touch with that inner child and healing some of those things that are coming up, and just letting yourself play and authentically express yourself in a way that maybe you weren't allowed to do as a kid. So I'm going to close out the reading with a poem from this book here. So let's see. What does pile 1 need to hear, Spirit? Choose your dreams wisely. It is so important to choose your own lifestyle and not let others choose it for you. Decisions are incredibly important things. Good decisions will come back to bless you. Bad decisions can come back to haunt you. That's why it's so important that you take the time to choose wisely. Choose to do the things that will reflect well on your ability, your integrity, your spirit, your health, your tomorrows, your smiles, your dreams, and yourself. There is someone who will thank you for doing the things you do now with foresight and wisdom and respect. It's the person you will be someday. You have the chance to make that person so thankful and proud. All you have to do is remember these 9 little words. Each time you come to a crossroads, choose wisely. And by doing that, it's just a matter of looking inwards to yourself and really understanding your emotional needs and what will make you feel fulfilled. So I hope this was helpful, pile 1. I had a lot of time doing it. I felt really connected to your energy throughout this reading, and I do wish you a happy rest of retrograde, and I hope that you're able to connect with yourself a little bit more. So if you do like my vibe, please stay and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you here, and leave me a comment to let me know if it resonated. So I will see you later. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week. Bye. Hi pile 2, and welcome to your reading. I don't have my little cow friend over here because I had to throw it. My cat was being a villain, so I had to get it out of the way. But this is my cow squishmallow pile. So to start with, I pulled some Marvel Oracle for you. And we have Mystic. What you see is never what you get. We have Seize the Day in reverse. And we have Thanos. All I seek is within my grasp. So it's interesting with you, pile 2, because I feel like you're having a lot of themes of being untrustworthy of others and also yourself, like trusting your ability to make decisions. I think you're dealing with a lot of self-isolation right now, which I think is good for you to spend alone time right now. I do, because you might recognize that your thoughts surrounding both yourself and other people are maybe irrational, but I do think it's better that you are able to do that in like a, I don't want to say a safe environment, but like in a safe and secluded environment where you feel comfortable to do so. I think you're feeling very frustrated right now, just kind of in general with yourself, with your life circumstances. Maybe you are not where you thought you wanted to be. I just got a message that I think some of you want to do like a crafting business, maybe like an Etsy business, or craft shows, like selling at craft shows, but you're just feeling a lot of frustration surrounding, you thought you would be in a different place in your life that you are now. I think a lot of you are parents, or maybe not literal parents, but definitely I'm getting like a maternal, paternal energy from this pile, where you kind of had to set aside your own needs for the dedication to other people. And because of that, you haven't been able to feed so much into yourself, and you're lacking confidence in that area now, and just being frustrated with not being where you want to be. And I think a lot of that is because you've been put through some, maybe not even recent, but some really intense trials and tribulations regarding just pain and suffering that you went through. I heard divorce for some of you, miscarriage is for others, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. That's horrifying, and a horrible thing to go through. And I think that you're just angry about those sort of things right now, and you're feeling just like you don't know what it's all for. And that kind of leads me into the astro I pulled as well. Please ignore how like jacked up my hands look. My cat literally just attacks me constantly. So we have Journey in reverse, Jupiter abundance. Actually, I'm gonna put this over here. And we have discomfort in reverse. So here's the thing. With the Journey card in reverse here, it tells me that a few things. It doesn't tell me that you're regressing in your journey, though you might feel like you are. And I do want to remind you that we are in a retrograde period, and it's perfectly normal to feel like you're, I don't know, not taking steps backwards so much. You can feel like that, but you're literally reflecting, you're going backwards in a way. So it doesn't mean you're actually regressing. So I don't want you to think it's that. And also, just on a side note, it's okay to regress sometimes because it doesn't eliminate the progress that you've already made. But I think a lot of this journey coming out in reverse is that, one, you feel like you're running out of time. Two, you are kind of living in a black and white world right now, and you're unable to see the shades of gray and the color in between that. Like, things just feel very yes or no, very absolute. I think you're angry at God or the universe or your spirit guides, whatever you believe in, and that's okay. I've been there before too. It's really hard when you go through something really horrible, to not be angry when you don't feel like you're seeing like you're getting, I don't want to say it like this, but this is the feeling I feel like. You don't feel like you're getting payout for enduring the hardships that you went through. Like, you don't feel like you're getting what you are owed by the universe. And I do think that you are angry and frustrated right now with that. And I heard a specific message coming up of what's it all for. I just saw 444 as well, about what's it all for. Like, is this all leading somewhere, or like, am I just, is this all for nothing? Like, I think that you're having kind of a crisis of faith, or you have been recently, and it's been causing a lot of like emotional turmoil in you, as far as like you've always leaned on your faith and your spirituality, and you might be feeling really disconnected from the divine, going through like a dark night of the soul. Just in a period where you're not sure what it's all adding up to. And I do want to remind you that we do have too, as like these cards coming out here with the Thanos, all that I seek is within my grasp, and Jupiter abundance. So it is coming. It really is. And you're like, okay, yeah, but when? And I hear you. I do. And I don't know when. The thing is, divine timing works differently than our timing. And it's just a matter of keep pushing forward right now. Take this time to reflect inwardly. And one specific message I got that came up for you is that it's okay to feel comfortable, because I think that you get caught up in, because you had this quick growth so quickly forced upon you from circumstances of involving like intense grief. I think that you're used to the energy of climbing up the mountain constantly, but sometimes you can just chill for a little bit and enjoy the view. You can just chill and enjoy the things that are around you, and getting more into your receptive energy, I think, will really help you here, and just going with the flow, doing what feels good for you, and just kind of tuning back into what it is maybe you do believe now. Maybe your beliefs have shifted, and you can look at that from a lens of maybe not a crisis of faith, but instead an exploration of what your faith means to you now. So those were a couple things. Oh, another thing is making sure you're speaking nice to yourself, talking gently to yourself. And you might say, oh yeah, I do that, but like, no, I really want you to examine the things you're saying to yourself. Like, are you giving yourself grace and patience, or are you rushing yourself just as much as you are wanting to rush the process? And that's not to be condescending by any means, because I really do understand what that feels like, but you're just making yourself get more and more worked up. And like, I'm getting this imagery of like wound up like a clock, like super tight, and you're just in this place where you're just so frustrated and like getting angry with yourself, with the universe, with your outside circumstances. And I just want you to take this opportunity to bring yourself back to where you are, bring yourself back to center, and celebrate the success that you have done. If possible, look at your old social media and see where you were in a place maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and see how much you've grown from that period, and just remembering how wonderful it is to be you. So that's what I got for there. And now we'll get into some of the other decks I have. We'll see what exact triggers are coming up. Sorry about the shaky camera. That's so funny. We have impatience coming up. Look for patterns of your impatience. Notice the negative physical symptoms it causes you. Take deep breaths, slow down. I think that's a good reminder for you to remind yourself when you feel like going too fast. Be like, slow down, slow down. Life is not a race. There's no finish line. Jealousy, your past wounds need healing. Work on self-love. You are far greater than you know. So I think you might be experiencing some jealousy. Specifically, I got the message of like spiritual YouTubers, if you're really into like new age spirituality and just that community and spiritual influencers, I guess, in feeling sort of resentful that those people have things that you don't, or maybe spiritual people in your life as well who you feel are being rewarded more by the universe. And that's totally a valid feeling to have when you feel that you're going through something and never being rewarded. And another thing I have coming out is unworthy. I would suggest you to re-examine your self-concept during this retrograde period. What is it that you really think and believe about yourself? Do some automatic writing. Sit down with a pen and paper and just write what comes up regarding your view of yourself, your image. Like, how do you see yourself? And not wrapped up in achievement or success or what material things you have, or like how good you've been, quote unquote good you've been for the day, following a spiritual mindset. What is it that you really love about you, who you are, your personality, your soul? And let that come through. So that's my little rant there. And let's see what messages we have from Spirit specifically. Go easy on yourself. You've been people pleasing more than usual. It's okay to say no. And it is okay to say no. Okay, we have your divine feminine, divine masculine characteristics are unbalanced. This is why you've been struggling lately. That also came out for pile 1. I would think that this is a general message for the collective right now, and getting more in tune with your feminine energy of being more receptive to things. Please remember that you are doing the best you can. We are here helping and guiding you. It's really beautiful and sweet. So that's what we got from there. And now I'm going to get, let's do some tarot. Let's see what you can do right now to support this. Okay, we have the Devil coming out. Let's get a clarifier for this one. I love these cards so much. Let's get a clarifier for the Spirit. Okay. We have the Nine of Torches clarifying. So yeah, like again, just reinstilling. If we look closely at the imagery on the Devil card here too, we can see that they're facing away from each other, but in integrating the shadow, I think would be really helpful for you, and not trying to eliminate the impatience of yourself, but channeling that energy into something else. And the Nine of Torches again tells me, especially going along with the Devil card here, of walking this journey, wanting to feel rewarded for it. Because like, look at her, like looking at how much left she feels she has to do, and she's like, fuck me, like I don't want to do all this, like I already have came this far, like I've climbed these many mountains, and she's just kind of dreading the experience ahead. But let's see what is ahead. Let's see what is supported, and what just in general again is helpful for you. We have the Two of Torches. Yeah, so you're at crossroads. And I actually pulled this in the eclipse reading as well for the general collective, and there being a decision to be made coming up for you for sure. And I want to get a clarifier there. The Hierophant. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was really channeling that earlier. And you're going to be, I feel like you're being torn between two different like spiritual identities, or some like philosophical identities, whatever it is specifically for you. But there is a lot of imagery of the twos, because even here we have the twos looking up to this godlike figure. You're trying to get clear on what it is that you believe in. And let's see, what do you have to look forward to? Let's give a message of hope to pile 2. Okay. Give a message of hope to pile 2. I keep pulling too many cards. Give a message of hope to pile 2. Okay, there we go. So we have the Tower coming out in reverse, and I'm clarifying it with the Queen of Pentacles here. So there was a Tower moment suffered here. I love how the Tower is depicted in those cards, just the way that all the hands around it, like the divine, is bringing the tower down with it. And clarified by this Queen of Pentacles here, you are getting what you want. You are this Queen of Pentacles. It is coming to you. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed by the universe. They see you, they hear you. And it's not coming in right now because I have the Chariot in reverse on the back of the deck. It's not coming in right now, but that's okay. I want you to be comfortable and happy in each part of your journey and knowing that it is coming. Finding joy in the little moments. So we're going to close it out by finding a crystal that I think would help you during this time. And then we'll do a poem. So let's do a crystal. For pile 2, let's do a crystal. Okay, we have lapis lazuli. I really love this one. You know, I was going to say this earlier too, but I feel you might be interested in like Egyptian mythology. Specifically, the goddess Isis is associated with this crystal. So the physical and emotional uses, lapis lazuli is a rose stone activating the higher chakras, bringing awareness of soul and spiritual purpose in life. It balances the solar plexus chakra, it promotes courage, lets your light shine in the world, and just promotes general spiritual development and connectedness, especially if you're interested in Egyptian mythology kind of in general, or you've been feeling called to do so. Some of you also, maybe Aleister Crowley and like Thelema, you might be interested in doing. So let's see, we got a poem here. Believe in miracles. Love your life, believe in your own power and potential and your innate goodness. Every morning, wake with the awe of just being alive. Each day, discover the magnificent, awesome beauty in the world. Explore and embrace life in yourself and everyone you see each day. Reach within to find your own specialness. Amaze yourself and rouse those around you to the potential of each new day. Do not be afraid to admit that you are less than perfect. That is the essence of your humanity. Let those who love you help you. Trust enough to be able to take. Look with hope to the horizon of today, for today is all we truly have. Live this day well. Let a little sunshine out as well as in. Create your own rainbows. Be open to all your possibilities. Possibilities can be miracles. Always believe in miracles. Love it. So sweet. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there, pile 2. I do hope that it was helpful and you enjoyed, and I hope that your pain eases soon and that you have a good rest of your retrograde in general. If you like my vibe and you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you stayed and subscribed to the channel and leave me a comment. Tell me if this video resonated with you. Either way, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week, and I will see you later. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose our little caterpillar guy, this is your reading. And so I started with the Marvel Oracle for you, and I had a couple cards come out. So we have Thor in reverse, and it says, be sure of foot and steady of heart in reverse here. We also have Miss Marvel coming out, I'm part of something bigger in reverse, and Aunt May, home is never too far away. So a couple of themes I picked up on for you is, well, one thing I specifically heard was so little time, what am I doing with it? So I feel you might be running out of time, or you feel you're running out of time. Some of you might be older, but I'm getting like 2 separate messages here, really. Some of you might be older, and this might be why you're feeling this disconnect. You're more isolated, like in your home. Some of you might have some disabilities as well that kind of prevent you from being as active in the community as you would like. Or for some of you, I feel that you've moved away from home, whether how far it is, but you've moved on your own for the first time ever. And there's this sense of unknowing and like instability in like what you once found comfort in. I think that the areas that need to be healed during this retrograde period is some work on your heart chakra and your root chakra, and in feeling those 2 things out and transmuting the energy to feel both grounded and open to giving and receiving love through your heart chakra. Because I think right now you're feeling very small, and that's why we have the I'm part of something bigger coming out in reverse. Because I think you're just feeling just small in general, like your place in the world doesn't matter. And honestly, I'm feeling drawn to specifically talk about this Ms. Marvel card because her story in the comics and in the MCU is her desire and dream and obsession with the superheroes in universe. And calling to do what it is that they do, and her becoming a hero and finding out that she has her own powers and her own connectedness to being her own comic book character, essentially. And I feel you're in a similar position, and maybe you look up to certain figures in fields that you would like to be in, or certain people who are in positions that you would like to be in, with a sense of longing for it, and not knowing that it can be yours, just from a place of desire. And I do think that that is something that is very hard for you to understand, and from a place of how do I get there. And so we're going to look at a few things and see what spirit suggests that you do to get there. I do think also I'm getting the energy of just plants, because we have like Aunt May gardening on this card here. I think that a lot of you are plant parents, or you should be if you're not already. There's a lot of encouragement from spirit to just have a plant you can take care of, especially if you are older and you struggle with taking care of like a pet or something like that. I think a plant would be really helpful for you, just to give nourishment to and speak kind words into. So we do have that there. And let's see, let's do our astro cards. Sorry about the shaky camera. I'm on my bed right now. We have Gemini, cross-pollinate. We have Ceres, definitely saying that wrong, nurture. And we have transits, climate. And you see how she's just collapsed over, like she's just kind of over it. And some things that came up with this is, well, also I do feel like you're longing to belong to something, to a larger group, something that is bigger than yourself, just kind of in general, but longing to belong in the larger community in general, like not just spiritually speaking, but you just want to belong to a group of people and feel like you are comfortable there, that feels safe for you, and you can authentically express yourself. Because there is definitely this message that consistently keeps coming through of the need for more socialization and connection with other people. And a big encouragement from spirit right now is one doing that. I would recommend to you too. There are always like library groups in your area, and since post-pandemic there are a ton of different online groups that you could do, like through Zoom, if that's like where you would like to start, if you're somebody who's more anxious, maybe you're agoraphobic as well. Regardless of that, if you need to start small and start on Zoom and connect with other people that way through these online groups, you would totally do that. There's some for everything, like crafting groups, there's some for bingo, trivia. I know NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, I know that they offer them for sure, because I interned there last year. So we did a lot of stuff like that, and you can just look up NAMI near me, and there will be like one in your area. And see what kind of groups that they offer, see what there is to explore there, because there's a lot of resources. Another place I would say to look is the library, but just overall there is this urge from spirit to encourage you to socialize and connect more with other people around you, and also going back home and visiting family and friends and loved ones, and returning to your roots. There's a lot of root energy here, just in general. There's a need for you to heal your root chakra that keeps coming up, and I think that's why I'm getting the message of some of you being very anxious, is because your root chakra is kind of struggling right now to feel grounded and safe and comfortable. So I do think going back home would be very helpful for you, and if that's not a possibility, visiting with some family or some friends, just loved ones in general, whoever makes you feel at home and like you belong with them, even if they're far away. There's a lot of encouragement from spirit to connect with people like that. Giving a trusted friend even a phone call, I think, excuse me, I'm yawning, I think would be really helpful for you in this area. I also think you're probably not getting enough sleep. You might be someone who's kind of an insomniac and struggling to just kind of shut your mind off, and in that regard I totally feel you. I'm filming this at 4:30 in the morning, so I certainly definitely understand the urge to kind of like stay up and create, especially if you're someone who's more of a homebody and you have that flexibility in your schedule. But there is encouragement from spirit to, specifically I'm getting like circadian rhythm, but to examine what sleep schedule and how much sleep you need for your own body, and being able to get more in tune with what works for you. Because for me, to be honest, I work the best when it's late at night, and then I usually sleep between like let's say like 5 to like 11. It just depends, of course, and that's not going to be a sleep schedule forever, and it might not be for you either. But just for in the now, what is it that you need, and just making sure that you're getting enough sleep, even if it's not at the quote-unquote correct times of day, because everybody is truly different. And I have always been more of a night owl than a morning person, and you might be too. But just in general, making sure you're getting enough sleep. So now we're going to get some messages from the my shadow work deck and see what triggers are coming up for you right now. Okay, we have shame. You're not flawed. You are so worthy of love and belonging. Forgive yourself for not giving yourself enough self-love. You might think you're weird. You might think you're unusual. I think some of you might be neurodivergent as well, whether that be autistic or you have ADHD. Those are the main things that are coming through for me. And I think that there's a lot of shame you have in masking those behaviors. And again, that's an area I definitely understand you in, because I have ADHD myself, and it's very hard as you get older, because you are rejected when you're younger for not fitting into a certain mold and being able to socialize with your peers in the same way that neurotypical children are, that you start to like shame yourself for doing those behaviors and thinking you're weird and other people are judging you. But your tribe is out there, pile 3, I promise. So we have knowing your darkness. This isn't really a trigger card, but I do want to read it. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. So in helping your loved ones as well, like if you can get comfortable with being in the dark and confronting that darkness within you, then you can do that with other people as well. Forgive self, accept what has happened, and give yourself grace to make mistakes. There's a lot of self-shame coming up here, and I encourage you to look into, definitely pile 3, if you're taking any away from this video, please look on Amazon for self-love workbooks. If you can't afford something like that, or you don't want to buy a whole new thing, just look up self-love journal prompts online. On Pinterest is a great resource, and work through some of the self-shame that's coming up, because you are someone who is very worthy and deserving of love, and I don't want you to keep shaming yourself when all you're doing is doing your best. So please forgive yourself for whatever it is that you need to forgive yourself about, even if you're not sure what it is. Think about what it looks like. Maybe some of you were formerly addicts as well, as something that just came through, and you feel a lot of shame and disconnection from your kids or the people around you that you love, because maybe you weren't always a great role model or a great person. And I want you to forgive yourself for if that, on any level, regardless of if that addiction's message manifests. Forgive yourself for who you were before, and within the framework of respecting other people's choice to maybe not want to be a part of your life anymore, and harnessing new connections. Yes, you should be spending more time with that particular person. They need your care and listening ear. I feel that's specific for maybe a few people. Money should be flowing a lot easier, but you need it to have a better relationship with it first. Again, like being deserving of money. Maybe you grew up in like a poverty mindset, and it's hard for you to realize that you do deserve money. Be healthier with your spending. Cut back on unnecessary items for now. So a lot of things regarding like money here, and just overall financial things. Yeah, another one. Start saving money. You will need the stash for something important that's coming. And I bet it's something to do with this trip here that we were talking about earlier. So I wouldn't stress out about the money messages, but take them as they resonate and integrate them into your life as they fit. So now we're going to get some messages from the tarot regarding some specific advice. So Spirit, what does pile 3 need to hear? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming out. Oh, very nice. Connecting with pets would be good. Plants as well. Some of your plant moms, pet moms, whatever it may be. We have pets coming out a lot. Pets are really making their appearance today. Okay. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Very nice. Look at her admiring her wealth. And we have the 3 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, again, like that disconnect from like friendships and social gatherings. And I do want to get a clarifier from Spirit in regards to that. So healing your image of yourself with this Empress coming out here, healing your image of yourself and your ability to have same-sex friendships. Specifically, I heard female friendships, but same-sex friendships. Maybe some of you have issues with your mom, or you've had issues with female friendships in the past. I've seen a lot of talk of neurodivergent women actually talking about, if this message does apply to you, talking about how it's hard for them to maintain and have like female friendships in general because they can't read general like social cues. And that's not always true, because I wouldn't say that's true of my circumstances, but if that is true for you, like just in being authentically you, because how are you going to find people who are like you if you're not being authentically you? And we have this temperance coming out here as well, and making your shame your superpower, and transmuting it in a way that feels right to you. And the first step of doing that, because I hear you going like, how, okay, how, is confronting it. You have to look at it in its face, get a journal, get clear with yourself, and start writing. I promise you, it will help you. It will help for sure. So we have that. I'm going to close out the reading with a recommendation of a crystal for you. What would help at this time? Okay. We have iolite. Iolite activates the third eye chakra, enabling inner visions and enhancing the clarity of dreams. Calms nerves and eases emotional stress, and helps cure insomnia caused by mental stress. Yes, so the insomnia thing I think I was dead on with. So finally, I do want to do a poem for you. This is from the Keep Believing Words to Motivate and Inspire Your Dreams. What do we got? Share your dreams with others. So nice. Surround yourself with those who believe in you and who will help you achieve your goals. Very nice. So those are your takeaway messages for this time pile 3. I do hope that this was helpful for you. I had a good time doing it. I do encourage you to take some time and reflect on the things we talked about and see if they would be helpful. So if you did enjoy this video and you like my vibe, I would love if you stayed and subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. Leave me a comment to let me know if this reading resonated. And regardless, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week, and I will see you later. Bye.